What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Flying Brian's Garage. In today's episode, we are going to be working on the John Deere again. It is part 2. Finishing the front end, custom clutch setup, pulleys with the Holey Pulley mod, and we're going to do a ride. So, with all that being said, let's get into the video. Alright guys, it's another day on the John Deere. In the last little bit of the video, y'all saw we installed the transaxle. I decided to beat this back end straight and weld back on a plate to pull, because it just don't have a spot for pulling otherwise. So I added that back, and I had installed the shifter back on. Got it welded back on there. So now all we need to focus on is getting the points in for the shift pattern up on the frame, or not on the frame, but on the body itself. And then we need to cut the front end loose. So I think what I'm going to work on now is cutting the front end loose from this unit. That way I will have my front pivoting, and I'll have a little bit of flex on this tractor, because as you see I welded it all the way around, so it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge to get this thing off. Alright, we got the front of this machine lifted up in our face, and I've decided before I go ahead and cut this front end loose, I'm gonna go ahead and work on the pulleys. I do believe I still got to do the Holey pulley mod on the front for sure. Small pulley up there, and then I need to come through, and I think this one has a flat spot in it. Yep, put my hand on it immediately. So we're going to replace this with a metal one, metal flat idler, and I think I have one. We'll think about replacing that plastic clutch pulley, that V pulley there. Unfortunately, flat and V are too big. That's the only V pulley that would be compatible with that setup, because it has the bearing inside of it. And that flat, but those are too big for what I'm looking for that application. So what we might need to do is source it from something else outside. So let's go see what we got, see if we can find one to replace the ones on here. So unfortunately our pulleys are wasted, both the V idler and the flat idler. I hate plastic pulleys, so I have no choice but to make these metal ones work. And as you see, they're not that close. So I'm gonna have to kind of adapt and make these work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come and pull the clutch assembly plate, which is this plate right here with the studs I gotta pull this bolt here and then pull the spring and the rod. Sorry, my camera kind of went out of focus there for a second. And drop that out of there. Alright, we have one pulley on. What I did was I cut the stud off and I actually just relocated it to here instead of where my thumb is, and that gave it the right spacing for where the old pulley used to sit. The new pulley is now sitting in that same area, and it's got a nice belt keep. So I'm going to get it under here and test fit it and see what it's looking like, and then go from there. Alright, so we have our clutch built here, accommodated for new pulleys. These are deck pulleys, but they are metal and a lot better shape than what I had. Our V idler has 2 belt catches, as you see, and then the flat kinda has one. I need to grind down more of this hub here so I can get some engagement on some thread. It's kind of convenient to live by a train, because when it comes through at night and it makes noise, I can run my grinder real quick. So what I did is I went ahead while the train went by and ran my grinder, ground it down. I think it should be enough, so let's check it. So we got the clutch in, and we got our V idler on. Still waiting on our flat, because it's actually not clearing the lip. Right there is hitting, so if you notice I got it trimmed down. I need to trim it down like that all the way around the pulley, and then it can go on there. Alright, we now have an upgraded clutch system. Everything spins nice. And they're metal, so works good, everything clears. I'm moving straight to the axle. I've already got the spindles off and the steering arms disassembled. What I need to do now is come in here with a grinder and start grinding down my welds and getting this thing free so I can break it loose. I'll probably take the axle out at that point, take this plate off the back, get all this freed up and everything so it'll pivot nice and free without catching on anything, on any burrs or anything of that sort. And then what we'll do from there is put it back up in there, lube it up, get it ready to go. I am happy to say we got the axle out. And it is in good shape. I just kind of shaved along the sides to cut it out and then grinded it down. So it's still a damn good axle. Ready to be put back in there. I have this side ground down nice and flush. All the welds out of the way. That way she will pivot in place. So we're going to go ahead and tackle the other side and get that ground down. Then we can put our axle back up in the mower. Hook our steering pivots up and all that stuff, get all that tight, and then we should have a pivoting front axle again. Alright, now we got this side ground down too, and it is nice and smooth in there. So let's go ahead and get our axle back up in the tractor. Alright, we have our axle back in the tractor. Tie rods are hooked up. We have flex. Just what I wanted. So now that that is done, I kind of wanted to close up some of my turning radius a little bit. So if you look over here, you see how my steering stops are. And if you look over here, you see how they are. I actually rebent these on this side to close it up some. So now, well, I mean, it still goes. It still maxes out in that direction, and I don't like that. I'm going to close that up some on this side. But back stops that. As you see, it doesn't touch, and it doesn't touch, but it's the steering is stopped. So I'm going to adjust this side, and then we'll put the front wheels back on it, put it on the ground. And then we will have us a freed up front end. Alright, and the good news is wheels are on. We have a pivoting axle. Works great. I'm very happy with that. Let's check our steering radius. It still turns way in. So we got our steering stop done on this side. I have it welded all the way around. Stops right there. What I'm going to do is go ahead and put the wheel back on this side. Go to the other side, pop that wheel off, and get that steering stop welded on, and then we can move on to the, well, lowering it down and then getting to the pulley. So I want to take a quick second and pause the video and ask y'all to help me with something. I need y'all to do me a favor. Go down and hit that subscribe button. Smash it. Smash that bell. Go like the videos. You know, tell me where you're from. Say hi. Whatever. Ask me questions. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs. And I cannot do that without your guys' help. So definitely go subscribe. Check out Facebook, the Instagram, the Snapchat, and now we have a TikTok. You can just go type in Flying Brown's Garage and you will find me. All the profile pictures are the same. It's easy to find. And yeah, give me some likes, give me some subscribes, and all that good stuff. I'm trying to build this, and I can't build it without everybody's help. So hope you guys are enjoying the videos. You know, got a lot of good videos coming, constantly coming. And I'm constantly sourcing new projects, so stay tuned. And with that being said, let's get back to the video. Alright, the steering stop on this side is completed. So now it is stopping in the same directions. That means I won't have much turn out of this handlebar, and that actually makes it more like a handlebar to me. I thought about straightening it out, but it's just not a good idea. Other than that, it turned out pretty good. See, it stops there and stops there, so it's better than it was. And my steering stop is working well. So let's get this wheel put on, front end drop. Alright, it is on the ground. Everything is nice and beefed up. Very happy with this build. It actually is pretty decent for a piece of crap that I'm just gonna play on. So now we have a full-on functioning mud mower with a lock differential and a pivoting front axle. So we can now mark out cut front loose. So now it's Holey pulley mod, replace those pulleys and install the gear stops. Alright, shift stops are done. It's just a bunch of bolts. You got your first gear, second gear, third gear, and then first reverse gear, second reverse gear, third reverse gear, and then there's neutral. So I think it ended up turning out pretty good. It's not the best looking thing, but dadgummit, it's not supposed to be a good looking toy, it's just supposed to be a toy. So there you go. Alright, install gear stops. Our clutch is done. So at this point all we have is to take the front pulley off, drill it out for the Holey pulley mod, file it down, put it back on, and then she is ready for the trails. So good news is that it's actually been raining the past couple days, and it's going to rain tomorrow and the next day, so the mud hole is going to be nice and full for us to test this guy out. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a night, go inside, get some editing done. It's like 1 in the morning. I've been out here for quite a while. The only thing we have to do tomorrow is pull that front pulley, get the Holey pulley mod, get it drilled out, get it put back on. We can throw a hot battery in this thing, hit the trails, go mudding. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Alright, it's been a couple days. I haven't been feeling the greatest, so I've been kind of taking it easy. But we are back on the John Deere mud mower, and the only thing I have left to do is finish up the Holey pulley mod. And we did the rear already. It's been done with the transaxle. We did the clutches. We didn't drill holes in them, but we upsized the clutches, put new pulleys on there, and redesigned a whole new clutch pattern. Also, we need to get to that one. So the last part of this video, we're going to go ahead and pull this pulley here. I'm probably going to cut the bottom one off, and then take the top one, drill holes in it, throw her back on, and then we should be ready to go. We got a front end that pivots. Everything has been reinforced. We have steering stops, a lock transaxle, towing point, a whole bunch of good stuff. So let's get this pulley off of here, get it modded up, get it put back on here, so for the end of the video we can take this thing down, and hopefully the trails are still a little muddy, and we can test this thing out and see what it'll do. Alright, we have our front pulley off. The engine one is really small on this tractor because it is a hydrostat and I cannot up it. So I had to remain that size. Cut this bottom one off because it is huge and I have no use for it. I can use it for something else. Go ahead and drill some holes up through here and get this thing converted. I've got my holes drilled and filed down on the inside. I am not going to do any on the bottom because it is so hard to get in there at a good angle. You end up screwing up bits and just end up screwing up the pulley, really. So I'm not going to put holes in the bottom side, just on the top. It'll be enough to disperse the mud. Let's go ahead and get this bottom cut off, get this thing put back up on there, get the belt put back on it. Alright, so I ended up cutting out the pulley in a square fashion and then ground it down, and that is it. So let's go ahead and get our shaft put back up on here, installed, and then we can move on to getting this thing off the lift, getting a hot battery in it, and riding it. Alright, it is installed. Pulley is on, belt is on, pulleys are on, and same with the rear. So let's get this thing off of the lift, down into the yard, get a hot battery on it, and see if she'll fire up. Alright, let's see if she'll fire up. Runner. Looks like that clutch gives just enough slack for the blade to get engaged. Let's see. Yeah. She's a runner. So we're going to actually take and ride this thing for a few minutes and see what she does. First works. Well, damn. It's not doing well. That sucks. I think the transaxle's not happy. I'm pretty sure the transaxle's pissed off. And I wanted to back it up out of here, but I can't. Looks like she might be stuck there for the night. It's getting late. I could recover it come early in the morning. But I guess that's going to do it for this episode. Unfortunately, they don't always turn out well. Sometimes you ended up with you make it worse. And in this case, it looks like that's what I did with the transaxle, is I made it worse. So, unfortunately, I'll probably have to take it back apart, maybe drain the fluid out, put new fluid in it, something of that sort. See if that does it, and if that don't do it, we're going to have to switch to another transaxle. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I didn't really enjoy I didn't enjoy this, but you know, I enjoyed the build and all that stuff. So go down there and leave a like, comment down below if you have any questions or just want to say something in general. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. I don't know why you haven't done that. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. The only one that's different is a Snapchat. It's an avatar. The rest of them are the same profile picture as the YouTube, and you can type in Flying Brown's Garage in the search engines and those platforms and you will find me. Go back and watch some of the old videos. There's a lot of those. And you know, stay tuned for the new ones. I'm working on the van now, so that'll be coming out soon. But till then, I will see you guys on the next episode. Alright, we're going to get the battery out of this for tonight. Because while I don't care about the tractor, I do care about my battery. So let's snatch that out and we'll come recover it tomorrow. Expected it to last longer than this, but it didn't. If y'all saw the last video, got it off the lift and got it in the trails, and it pretty much said nope. So now let's get this battery up to the shop, get it on charge, and we'll get back at this tomorrow. Come down here and recover it from its hole.